Hi everyone, it's Helen Hortai here, founder of Form Help, and we are on the smarttraveller.gov.au website, and we are doing a Smart Traveller Advice Daily Update for the following countries: Singapore, Papua New Guinea, El Salvador, Paraguay, Slovakia, Latvia, Democratic Republic of Congo, and Azerbaijan. Okay, we'll get straight into Singapore. So as you can see here, it was updated on the 26th of April and it's still current as at today being the 26th. So the latest update reads, Singapore has transitioned to a new vaccinated travel framework. So if you're fully vaccinated and haven't visited a restricted category destination, you can enter Singapore quarantine free. So you no longer need a pre-departure test before traveling to Singapore, and you'll need to complete a Singapore arrival card. So if you're not fully vaccinated against COVID-19 and have received prior approval to enter Singapore, then you'll need travel insurance with a minimum coverage of 30,000 Singapore dollars, and you don't need a pre-departure test to transit through Singapore. And the Australian government advises exercise a high degree of caution in Singapore due to the impacts of COVID-19. And again, advice levels exercise a high degree of caution. And if you scroll down below, there is more information there for you to read. And that is the latest travel update from the Australian government for Singapore. Next, we'll go to PNG, or Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea. So the latest update, so it was updated today, being the 26th of April, and it reads, there are reports of communal unrest in Kokopo in East New Britain. Now avoid crowds, minimize movement, stay vigilant, and follow instructions of local authorities, and see the safety section below for more details. Australian High Commission staff are recommended to avoid the area until the situation stabilises, and if you're not a PNG citizen, you'll only be allowed to enter if you're fully vaccinated for COVID-19 and hold a valid PNG visa. And if you're arriving by air, you'll need to undertake a RAT on arrival in PNG, and fees may apply. Now, there is no pre-departure testing requirement if arriving by sea, and if you test positive when you arrive in PNG, you may be required to quarantine, and you may be able to apply for a medical exemption if you've recently recovered from COVID-19 and have a medical certificate from your doctor. Now, there is widespread community transmission of COVID-19 in PNG, and COVID-19 is a serious health risk and is impacting the capacity of local health services. So follow the advice of local authorities and minimize your risk of infection. And the Australian government does advise reconsider your need to travel to PNG overall due to the impacts of COVID-19, and then other levels apply in some areas. Now again, the advice levels is reconsider your need to travel to PNG overall, and then reconsider your need to travel to Porgera Township in Enga Province and Tari in Hela Province. And again, if you scroll down below, there is more information for you to read, and that is the latest travel advice updates from the Australian government for Papua New Guinea. Next, we'll go to El Salvador. El Salvador. Now, this was updated on the 26th of April, and it reads, the state of emergency in place in El Salvador has been extended, and this is due to the continuing high number of gang-related crimes, including a high number of murders, so follow the advice of local authorities. And the Australian government does advise reconsider your need to travel to El Salvador due to the impacts of COVID-19. And again, the advice levels, reconsider your need to travel. And if you scroll down below, there is more information there for you to read. And that is the latest travel advice updates from the Australian government for El Salvador. Next, we'll go to Paraguay. Paraguay. Now, this was updated on the 26th of April, and it reads, if you're entering Paraguay and are fully vaccinated, you no longer need to provide proof of a negative COVID-19 PCR test on arrival. And if you're aged 12 and older and are unvaccinated or not fully vaccinated, you will need to provide a negative COVID-19 PCR test taken no more than 72 hours before boarding, and you'll need to have comprehensive travel insurance, which includes COVID-19 coverage, and see the travel details below. Now, the Australian government does advise exercise a high degree of caution in Paraguay due to the high level of crime. And again, the advice levels is exercise a high degree of caution. And if you scroll down below, there is more information there for you to read. And that is the latest travel update from the Australian government for Paraguay. Next, we'll go to Slovakia. And this was updated on the 26th of April, and it reads, COVID-19 entry restrictions are no longer in place if you arrive in Slovakia directly from Schengen member countries, and if you arrive from a non-Schengen member country, you must present proof of vaccination or recovery from COVID-19. Now, some exemptions apply, including if you're entering from Ukraine, and you no longer need to present proof of vaccination, recovery, or a negative COVID-19 test to access most venues in Slovakia. And you must wear an FFP2 mask in all indoor areas, at events, and on public transport. The Russian invasion of Ukraine is ongoing. Heavy fighting, including bombardments, explosions, and missile launches, is ongoing throughout Ukraine, including in major cities. Infrastructure and military facilities have been struck by rockets, and there may have been many civilian casualties. Foreigners have been killed and may be targeted, including in areas not directly affected by fighting. Do not cross into Ukraine from Slovakia, and follow the instructions of the local authorities at all times. And if you have arrived in Slovakia from Ukraine and are in need of assistance, contact the Consular Emergency Centre on 1300 555 135 in Australia, or +61 2 6261 3305 outside of Australia. And the Australian government does advise exercise a high degree of caution in Slovakia due to the impacts of COVID-19. And if you scroll down below, there is more information there for you to read. Oh, actually, just a reminder, the advice levels is exercise a high degree of caution in Slovakia. And that is the latest travel updates from the Australian government for Slovakia. Next, we'll go to Latvia. So this was updated on the 26th of April, and it reads, you no longer need to present a COVID-19 vaccination or recovery certificate or proof of a negative COVID-19 test result to enter Latvia. So some venues in Latvia may still require a COVID-19 certificate for entry, and Latvia's land border is open with Russia and Belarus for those travelling by car or commercial bus. There are no passenger rail options currently running between Russia and Belarus and Latvia. Latvia has temporarily suspended visas for Russian citizens, and this may extend to Russian citizens who are family members of Australian citizens. Visit the Latvian Border Guard websites for more information, so see the travel information below. And the Australian government does advise exercise a high degree of caution in Latvia due to the impacts of COVID-19, and then higher levels apply in some other areas. And again, the advice levels exercise a high degree of caution in Latvia, and reconsider your need to travel to areas near the border with Belarus. And that is the latest travel advice update from the Australian government for Latvia. Next, we'll go to Democratic Republic of Congo. So, Democratic Republic of Congo. And this was updated on the 26th of April, and it reads, regardless of your COVID-19 vaccination status, you need a negative COVID-19 PCR test to enter and exit the Democratic Republic of Congo. And if you have proof of your COVID-19 vaccinations and negative COVID-19 PCR test, you won't need to undertake additional COVID-19 testing at the airport on arrival. And the Australian government does advise reconsider your need to travel to the Democratic Republic of Congo overall due to the volatile security situation and high risk of kidnapping. And again, the advice levels: reconsider your need to travel to the DRC, and do not travel to Kasai, Kasai Central, Kasai Oriental, South Kivu, North Kivu, Ituri, Maniema, Tanganyika, Basueli, and Hau-Tuweli provinces. Now, if you scroll down below, there is more information there for you to read, and that is the latest travel updates from the Australian government for the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And last of all, we will read Azerbaijan. So let's have a look. Azerbaijan. So this is updated on the 26th of April, and it reads: you no longer require a negative COVID-19 PCR test to enter Azerbaijan. So the special quarantine regime has been extended until May 2022. So land border crossings remain closed. Australian citizens and residence permit holders can only enter and exit Azerbaijan by air, and there are currently no restrictions on travel within Azerbaijan. And the Australian government does advise exercise a high degree of caution in Azerbaijan overall due to the impacts of COVID-19, and higher levels do apply in some other areas. And again, the advice levels: exercise a high degree of caution in Azerbaijan and do not travel to Armenia, Azerbaijan border areas, or Nagorno-Karabakh and surrounding military occupied areas. And if you scroll down below, there is more information there for you to read, and that is the latest travel updates from the Australian government for Azerbaijan. And that concludes our Smart Traveller Advice Daily Update for all those countries. Hope you found that helpful. It's Helen Hortai, founder of Form Help, signing out. Have a great day wherever you are. Thank you.